Hey y'all, I'm Sunny,
And it's your girl Liv.
and welcome back to
Colorful
Colorful Situations,
Situation. A
a conversation
conversation
about
about
love,
love,
marriage,
marriage,
and
and
everything
everything
in
in
between.
between. Yes. All of that. All of that. Everything. All the nonsense and the fun and the lows and the not
Good,
so
bad, ups,
goods and
downs,
the can you stand the rain? All of those things.
reds.
Greens. All of those things.
Yes.
Welcome back to Colorful Situations.
Hey, hey.
Hey, so y'all know how we started off. We always check in with each other because it's very important. Our feelings do matter, and it's a safe place to talk about them.
Yes, it is.
So, what you feeling today?
I am feeling cheerful.
Oh,
So it's like happy. It's right next to green.
okay.
It's right next to green, but it falls under the powerful, happy,
Okay.
all of those things. So yeah,
Okay.
I am yellow today. Let's see.
Yellow.
Yep.
All right.
How are you today?
Well,
Hmm.
so I am a little embarrassed.
Hmm.
I am. I'm a little embarrassed.
Want to talk about it?
Eh,
Okay.
I don't know if I want to talk about it so deep because, it's probably a colorful situation. But
Well, that's what we're here for.
that
But
is true. That is true.
in your own time.
In my own time. But I'm just a little foolish because, sometimes you think you know and you just
Don't
don't.
know.
You just don't know. And then you be like, oh, well, I'm a fool. I ain't gonna be a goddamn fool, but I'm a
Listen,
fool.
it happens to the best of us. It
Yes.
happens to the best of
So
us.
I'm feeling a little foolish, a little embarrassed. But it's okay. This too shall
Shall
pass.
pass.
And maybe I'll talk about it at some point. But right now, I'm purple.
We're purple, and I see you good over there, girl.
Good job.
So, what's our topic today?
Well, our topic is it's complicated.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. So how you just have like a good bestie, and y'all just be hanging out, and y'all just be doing a whole lot of things together, and they know you through and through, you know them through and through, and then one night y'all drink just a little bit too much, and you slip over to the other side.
No. No, ma'am.
Or
I'm not familiar.
Or, you have this friend and y'all good buddies and everything, and all of the relationships that you try to have with other people just don't work because you got this bestie and this buddy that you're in love with, and it's complicated.
That's definitely something to talk about. I want to hear about it. Yeah, let's get into it.
It's a colorful situation. Like to hear about it?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's go. I need to hear this one myself.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, okay.
Let's talk about it. So, those are, some things and some situations that you can get into, right?
Yeah.
You can have a good friend that has always shown up for you, has always had your back, know you through and through. You don't have to say much. Like, they're always there.
Mhm.
And so you start feeling this feeling towards them that you may not express or be able to express. But it's a feeling of something deep down in there. And you wonder why every time she comes to you and cries on your shoulder and, you embrace her and hug her, you just want to be like, no, no, don't go back. I'm there for you. This is all you need.
Fall into my arms. I'll care for you.
That romance book type of thing.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You
I've
never?
heard, girl, listen. I've heard about it.
Okay.
Let me go back. Maybe when I was a little bitty girl,
A little bit.
but
Bitty.
I'm not a little bitty girl anymore. So, but yeah,
Okay.
no. But I mean, I've seen those situations, and it's kind of interesting to me that um it can even happen like that.
How's that
Because,
interesting?
because I generally put people where
In
they
a
go.
box. Yeah.
I put them where they go, and that's just where you are.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm just gonna look at you one day and be like, yeah. No, you ain't got to worry about it. She ain't got to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. You know. Plus, it's very so. I don't have any. Besides the fact that I only have a few friends.
This is true.
Besides the fact that I only have a few friends, no, I don't know. No. Because it gets weird. I can imagine that it gets weird.
And that's why it gets complicated because you muddy the water. But when you say you put people in their boxes, which I totally understand because, you know, you have heard people say before, well, a woman knows if you can get it. Right. Straight up the job. Right. Like when you meet somebody, we know exactly where you are, right? We know if it's, and we may say, oh, it's a potential. Well, let me try it out and then put you in a different box, you know? Like, oh, she really look good. I'm gonna go see. And then, yeah, no. Friend zone. Like, you know what I mean? No.
What I want.
Out the gate, you put it in a box. They just stick in the box. They stay, and they can't change boxes.
Like I said, maybe when I was a little bitty girl, but it's like I'm not even really attracted. The people that are my friends, I'm not attracted to it that way
because you've already put them in the friend zone.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, no, I don't have romantic feelings for my friends.
But so let's just play devil's advocate and say you've been knowing this friend for a very, very long time, right? And so it grows, right? And y'all been through a lot together, right? And it just so happened that when you, even though you don't naturally feel like, oh, I'm going to look at them that way, you may one day just look up and be like, well, this whole time I've been wanting something else, but it's been right here. Like it's
no,
like at all. Like you can't say at all at some point, even if that person has had your back, let's say 15 plus years, like, or let's just say 5 years, they've been going through the thick, through the fire with you, and they just been there, you know. And it's not like you got ugly friends. Like you got you got some lookers.
You so crazy. So I just know, like, even the friendship that we talked about, the one that I said I was heartbroken.
Yeah,
that was like that love, but it wasn't a romantic
type of love.
Because I don't know.
No. Yeah. And I can understand when you say putting people in a box, because I do that too. Like if I meet somebody I know, I'd be like, okay, this is just friends. Oh no, this is that. But now you know your girl love. And you know, I love something else. And so sometimes I just may be that, you know, shot girl that's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Maybe I did blur the line and didn't mean to. Now I've had that in my college days, you know. You drink and you do whatever. You have those straight friends, which may or may not be a topic that's gonna come up, but
here we go. Something else.
Child. But you know, you may have those girls that like to kiss on girls when they drunk, or friends who y'all just besties and friends, and you know, but yeah, other stuff happens. Never ever.
My college days, I had a whole boyfriend and in the thick of it. So yeah, my college days wasn't like that.
Well, and I can't say that I've had a situation to where I was always this person's friend. And that's a whole nother subject too. Another topic. Where, you know, we're friends, But we was those friends that would hang out, go shop, do all these different things or whatever. But that line was blurry, baby. It was complicated and blurry. Just on her end because she was not where I was and she was not out all the way.
Right.
So, you know, we were friends. You know, cut buddies. Yo, yay, yay.
Did you say cut? You just aged.
Cut buddies. Yo, yay, yay. Anyway, so it does get complicated and those lines can get blurred unless you're friends with someone who doesn't do that. So then it never happens. At this big age.
At this big age I'm in my marriage, like even before, no.
Yeah. Well, now definitely because we're married and those are things that, you know, you ain't doing no way, right?
Right.
When you're married and when you're even in a committed relationship, your friends is going to be your friends. You're not trying to blur that line.
Right.
Now, if you are in a committed relationship in a marriage and you tend to lean over all the time on your friend and feel some type of way when you see your friend come in and your heart stops and fluttered and do all these things, which should be happening for your wife, you are in a colorful situation. Girl.
Another topic.
And it's beyond complicated. It's jacked up.
Yes, it is. We need to talk about it,
definitely. So, as always, let's talk about our questions. Should you date your friends? You know, and can a real strong relationship be built out of friendship?
So people always say, "Oh, well, you know, my person or whatever
is my best friend."
I feel like my wife has grown into my best friend. You know, like in the beginning, no, we were friends, but I was pursuing her. I was pursuing her, so I swiped right. And you know that's
and
her
then
story.
She couldn't live without her.
So I was pursuing her, but in that friend window, yes, we were friends, but we've grown so much closer over the time that we've been. A lot of people say, well, that's the perfect person for you, your best friend, because they know you this way and they know you that way. But my wife tell me all the time, she has friends that she knows stuff about that she would never.
Right, because she know everything about it.
Yes. But ultimately, plenty of people give it a try. Some people give it the old college try, and then you end up, some people stay together, I guess, and some people don't. But then you think about it, and that's where it gets complicated, because depending on how long this relationship is, then it's like, so how do you go back to being friends? Now that's a question. Is it possible for you to go back to just being friends if this is someone that you've been intimate with? You've been laid it all out, spread it wide.
Spread it wide. Well, as Music Soul Child say, I wish I never.
Listen.
And I think Trey Songz said that too, because now he can't just look at his friend like that. He can't go back.
What do you do then?
Yeah, I don't know. But there are some people that do say that, you know, they want a friendship first. And so that's what they cultivate. Now, can you cultivate a friendship with the thought process of in the future, this is where we're going? Right. But both of you have to be able to know that that's where you want to go. But if you're someone that's like, once you my friend, you ain't getting nothing, doing nothing, we ain't doing none of that, then okay, it just needs to stay there once you have established that's what that is. Yeah. But if you do establish like, hey friend, you know what, we've been rocking for each other. Let's try it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been rocking and you've been here for me and I've been here for you. And secretly, because, you know, we did talk about those people who secretly are in love with their friends and they don't tell them, you know, or they don't realize that they're really in love with their friends until, you know, somewhere down the line, and it's like, wait, I really had some real genuine romantic type of love, because I had a situation where someone would treat me like that. Like, they would treat me like their spouse or their wife. They wasn't married at the time or whatever, but we were just friends. But everything that person would do for, or everything that you would do for a spouse or a loved one, that's what my friend did for me. But again, in that type of situation, I was that person too that just gave whatever, right? I did a lot of different things. We would go take each other, hey friend, it's date night. Let's go on a date. And it wasn't like, at first, it wasn't like romantic or whatever. It was just like, we just going on a friend date. We're just hanging out with each other. We're just traveling with each other. Hey, I noticed that your car need to be washed. I'm going to take your car for a wash. I'm going to do all these things, and eventually that person found someone who she was able to pour all of those things into, versus not pouring it into me. Now, did I miss my friend? Yes.
You missed that stuff too, didn't you?
I missed being treated in such a way where my friend really understood who I was.
But that's the same thing that you want in a relationship. So you missed those relationship things that your friends was doing.
That my friend was giving me. And that's the complicated part.
That's why.
And that's the complicated part, because now you just want to be a friend and you want to support her being with someone else. And you just like, no, wait. That is just getting what I used to get.
Right.
Or wait, y'all doing what? You can't travel no more? You can't what? Oh, I can't just pop over to your house? Wait, right. I got to give you your key back?
See? That's all that stuff right there.
Because now you living with somebody, and I can't just call and be like, yo, drop whatever you doing and come over here. You know what I mean? You can't spend a night and slumber party no more.
Whoa. I've had friends for about 20 years. And I know some people for about, of course, longer than that. But it's just like certain things. Okay, let me see. Let me just see. I don't have a friend that I know. I don't have a friend that would be like, girl, your car needs some gas. Let me take your car to get an oil change. I don't have any friends like that. I don't have any friends that I would expect to drop everything and come to me when I call. I don't have any friends. Now, I have gone on some friend date nights. I used to have a standing ice cream date night, but my heart was broken. Anyway, but it's certain things that I don't even expect out of my friends. Yeah. So what are you talking about?
It's not that I expected them. That was just things.
It's certain. Okay, well, let me rewind this back. It's certain things that I don't allow as a friend, or I don't even expect I don't even think that my friend would be like, girl, I see your tire low. Let me go put some air. I see we on E. I'm gonna take your car to get. I don't see that in my friends. I don't see that. I don't know. Now, if we were dating, if I'm dating somebody, I would expect you to be like, yeah, I see your tire low. I'm gonna go take you to the street, get some.
Yeah, we never said we were dating.
I know. But see, and that's the thing. Let me.
This is the controller part. The X, Y, Z.
And that's the reason why. That's one reason. And it's not just in same-sex relationships, but I see in same-sex relationships, those blurred lines. Yes. People get so, because, oh, that's just my home girl. Yes. Oh, that's just my friend. Guys, I mean, it happens in heterosexual relationships too, but we're talking about same-sex relationships. Oh, that's just my friend. She can come over here and spend the night. No, we're not doing that. Because you know the way I look at relationships anyway, it's all the same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. No, we're not doing that in friendships and relationships, because my friend is here,
Mm-hmm.
and the person that I'm intimate with, the person that I would depend on to do things, I depend on my friends to do things too, but it's not the same as me in a relationship, as I would expect my wife to be doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never said it was right. I never said it was right. Okay. I said it was complicated, because you're absolutely right. And the part that makes it complicated is that you don't communicate. You just running around here calling people your friends, and you really are doing things for them that is above that area, or is above that title, because you're really going towards something else, but you don't talk about it. You don't say anything about it. You don't put a label to it.
But on the other side of that is the person that's accepting these things.
Yeah.
The person that's saying, oh, yeah, go ahead. That's fine. And it just made me think about at work, on my coworkers. If we go to the vending machine or something, one of us might not have the change. Let me go ahead and cash app you your $1.25 right now.
I will give you your 75 cents.
And they the same way, because we don't want no cross lines nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's complicated.
I don't like it.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. And it hurts. It muddies the water. People are not clear on things.
People not honest with themselves.
It's a whole bunch of things. Next question. Does it, or how does it change the friend group? So say you got a friend group of 4 or 5, and 2 of them decide to blur that line or make it complicated. Does that change it for everybody in the situation?
I think y'all mess up the whole friend group. Because 2 things. Okay, y'all together for about 2 weeks or 2 years. Y'all together in the friend group. Y'all break up in the friend group.
Yeah.
Now one of y'all get a girlfriend. We coming into the friend group. The friend group side-eyeing you.
Yeah,
the friend group done call Keisha Kim. And then that's because they can remember, because they like, because you over. No. And you know, let me put.
Now you got to have 2 separate groups, because you got to invite Kim and Liv and not invite so-and-so, because y'all don't know. Yeah.
But you know, that's another thing that I found in these lesbian relationships, is that everybody's friends with everybody. Everybody's friend, and that's not just the LGBT community.
Yeah.
Everybody's friend with their exes, and we hanging out at the exes. Oh, well, yeah. I'm not mature. Listen, hey. I'm not mature. Okay? It ain't gonna be no exes hanging out. Ain't gonna be no exes spending no night. Ain't gonna be no, we friends. Hey, it is not that. And I saw that when in Atlanta, I just see, because it's really small, even though it's big, it's small, you know. Yeah. So everybody knows everybody. And it's just like everybody's friends with everybody and all this other kind of stuff. It just makes everything hard. I'm done.
You okay? Do you need your fan?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You got to change it.
She done worked herself up to red, honey.
It's just, this is a topic this topic just does something to me on the inside. Not necessarily red. Not red. Well, maybe pink. I don't know. But yeah, that topic. Because I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't appreciate
it. Were you yellow?
You could keep it on red if you wanted to.
Yeah. Oh man. I agree. It is a lot. And when you're already, maybe in a select pool of people already, and then you're dating different, and then these people have dated, and then now it does make it very, very complicated. And as far as like everybody being friends, that's a whole nother topic that we will cover. Be ready for that. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to have something, right? And it's a good way to have and keep your relationships when you separate them. Now, if you can merge them and talk about it and you're both at the same point and you agree on it and everything like that, then that's great. But I would say try not to have it in the same friend group that y'all been, because that's the core group. Like if you have 5 people that are together, when that changes, it kind of changes dynamics for everybody. So if that's something
people have to pick sides, and all that kind of stuff.
So if that's something you're gonna do, if you're gonna make it complicated and blur the line, be sure.
Be ready for the fallout.
Be ready for the fallout and be sure, because So
I feel like my lips been pursed so much. Do I hold my mouth like that?
So with that, we gonna check where you are. Now this baby is not in a situation because she is happily married and always in green, but this topic has made her in the red. So if you are like Sunny and you're red right now, you may be in a colorful situation because you may have blurred that line. It may have been very complicated. You may not be able to bring your new girlfriend around your friend group because your ex is in that friend group and you don't know how to deal with it.
Long story short. Now, if you tried it out. Maybe you kept it a secret. Oh. Maybe y'all tried it out and kept it a secret and we found out, no, this is not for us. You and the yellow, that's fine. Go on about your business.
Take it to the grave.
That's what I was about to say. Some stuff you're supposed to take to the grave. Y'all just keep it under wraps. We do not want to mess the thing up with the friends. Goodness gracious. And if you just make, like I started off saying, putting friends over here and romantic partners over here, you in the green. Keep doing what you're doing so we can keep the thing together. Yeah.
Be mature. Stay mature. Don't be a little girl. So, with that, we talked about it. We checked your levels. So now let's go to some resolves. Do you have some resolves for this?
I do. I feel like when it comes to switching or changing your relationship from your friends to lovers, or you have a crush or whatever, really weigh out the pros and cons of this. Because you may say, girl, I've been crushing on you. Let's try this thing out. And you hadn't thought it through. And you get into it because it's something that's been on your mind for a while. And then you get into it. And like you said, like, nope, go back into the corner. So I would say really think this thing out. Think it through. How it's going to impact y'all, and if it's a friend group, kids, everything. Because everybody's impacted by things. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And then weighing it out, be real about it. Be real with yourself. And ask your intent and why you want to do it. Is it just because I have nobody now and my friend is there? Is it because I'm just, let's be mature about it, sexually attracted to my friend and just want to see what it is but really don't want nothing? Don't do something for less than, because if you value your friend and you value who they are, don't do it for just a little bit of nothing. If you can't go for gold, don't even try.
Right. I agree.
Don't even try if you can't go for gold. Really, on this topic, that's really just the two of it, right? Because you just really want to just make sure that everything is okay, that everybody's okay. Because not only are you affecting your life, you're affecting your good friend's life, that you really are bonding the people around you, so just weigh it out, look and see what you got. And if it ain't gold, if it's just a little fire,
keep it pushing.
Burn it out with somebody else. Keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing.
Yeah. So we are interactive, and that means that we got some questions for you.
Okay, so we are going to post them here and post them down in the comments. We want to hear what y'all think about it. I know somebody got something to say about this one because it's one that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the things that we talk about are real, but this is a really real one.
This is a real one. Yeah.
This is a really real one. Yeah. So, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you crushing on your good friend, where you having these, as she say, these feelings for your friend that you thinking about?
Yeah.
You thinking about pursuing? If so, how did you resolve it? Did you go through it, or did you weigh those pros and cons and say it's not even worth it? And it's something that's just here, like she said, because I don't have anyone, or because I have someone and I'm not where I want to be with that person, and I know this person over here.
Let's talk about that.
Okay,
yeah.
Long story short. And if you did, I mean, how did it work out? How did it work out? Or if you didn't, then how did you keep yourself from saying, that's my girl right there, my good friend? How did you keep your friendship? How did you keep your friendship?
And or most importantly, how do you remain to keep choosing your friendship over trying to import them into relationships? You know, if you find that your friendship is really valuable, give us some tips on how to just really keep it there and keep those boundaries and where they need to be.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
So, our summary, we talked about, it's complicated. You know, like Trey Songz says, once you cross them lines, it's hard to go back or even see your friend in a friend's light once you do that. You know, so we talked about hanging out with your buddies or whatever, having too much to drink, and then kind of just on the physical side of things, blurring the lines because, you know, it's just a physical thing. We also talked about really having a love and a genuine care for this person. And because you have had that, you feel like it may be time for you to take it to the next level. How do you do that? The resolve that we had for it was just, hey, weigh it out. Make sure that you can really go for gold, and make sure that, hey, you're thinking about all the factors and all the characters that it's gonna, you know, affect.
So y'all, we had a rough one today. I had a rough one today. Did you have?
Yeah. No.
You see, I had changed the red and everything. Well, she changed the red anyway. But we do want to thank y'all for joining us here today. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
And before we go, I want to shout out my great friend who is very creative and made my top. Isn't it so lovely? Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome. And remember, not all colorful situations are the same, but you have the power to change your hue.